And action. Hi everybody, Chad here. Gonna go into today's rant. Looking at life a little bit from, looking at it from a little bit different perspective. Um, we got this election we just went through, last week. Exciting, for those of us who, voted for Joe Biden. We wanted change, and so we're happy because we think that we're going to get change. For those of the people out there that voted for Donald Trump, not so happy. They don't want change, and I can understand that. Okay, I get it. But there's certain things that me personally that I've seen that right now disturbs me, concerns me, and these were things that I was seeing in the past, and this is just what's coming to fruition now. Not to mention things that I've heard people say online, in certain chat rooms that have my own nerves kind of built up. Okay, I get that Donald Trump has been telling everybody for 6 months that no matter what happened, this election is going to be fraudulent. It's going to be fraudulent. Somebody's going to commit fraud. It's going to be fraudulent. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Even if you find voter fraud, it's not one particular party that's committed it. And most of the time, there's no conspiracy behind it. There's no grouping. But what you're asking people to believe right now, if you're believing that there's voter fraud to the point that Donald Trump was cheated from this election, what you're asking for us to believe, okay, is Donald Trump got screwed when the Republican Party itself is better off. They advanced their cause. The Republican Party had a really great night on election night. Donald Trump had a bad night. Okay. Because a lot of people did what's called split ticket voting, which is they voted for Joe Biden and they voted for Republicans down ticket. It happens. Okay. It's happened many times. People haven't seen it recently because partisanship's gotten pretty bad. Democrats hating Republicans, Republicans hating Democrats. Those of us in the middle who don't care about either one of you guys, hating both of you at the current moment. And right now, I'm looking at you guys like, do you hear what the fuck you're saying? Do you hear what the fuck you're saying? I literally am listening to people talk about this voter fraud, but also what they're going to do to correct it. I mean, let this sink in for a second. Voter fraud in Philly. Philly was going to vote against Donald Trump no matter what. Last election, they ran 80% to 20%, for versus against. This election, they're running 80% to 20%, for versus against. Just more people voted. where you're seeing the big changes aren't in Philly. The big changes are Bucks County, Montgomery County. Erie flipped from being a Trump county to being a Biden county. Where you're charging the bad voting and the conspiracy voting is in a city that there was no change. Which is why every time you've gone in with this charge, the judges keep throwing it out. You need actual proof that this is actually going on and it's affecting the outcome, and there's a conspiracy behind it. Which is why every one of these court cases that Trump has put in has been thrown out. I mean, Chester County had an increase against Trump. Delco had an increase against Trump. It wasn't Philly that did this. It's the outlying areas. But you're charging everything against Philly. Like Philly's just, Philly's known for corruption and shit. Come on, people. I've worked in and around the United States government for almost 3 decades. All you've got going on is people playing politics. Don't buy into the political games. Please. Quit getting upset. If they prove it in a court of law, the judges will hear them out, and we will see things get changed. That's how it works. But the burden of proof is on Donald Trump and his lawyers. The burden of proof is not on Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. The burden of proof is on the accusers. They have to come up with evidence, real evidence, that it's a real serious problem. I'm sure that people have seen all these different videos. I've seen one guy get doxxed. Doxxed people. His address given out. Death threats coming at him. Because they saw him taking paper from ballots and throwing it away. But when you find out what the paper is, people were sending in the instruction paper inside of their voting envelope. So he was pulling those out while setting up the ballots to be counted and throwing those pieces of paper away. So yes, we got video cameras to watch these people. But you should be seeing what the actual item is before you start doxing him, giving his family's name and his name and calling death threats into his house and having to set up police protection to keep him safe. Really, people? Really? Come on. Take a step back. Relax. There's no need to get into all this stuff. But the latest one I've heard is from this group outside of Michigan, State House, talking about how they have people from their organization protesting at all 50 state houses, armed. And if these cases get thrown out by the judges and it's not declared that the election was cheated and fraudulent, they plan on seizing the state houses across this country, overthrowing the state governments, and announcing state referendums. You know, they're planning on doing this, making this constitutionally legal, that they're going to remove the state governments from any power, putting all power in the federal government, and all power in that federal government into Donald J. Trump. Essentially turning Donald J. Trump from our president, you know, and our exiting president, because he lost the election, into our emperor. Hail Donald J. Trump, American Caesar. The end of the Republic. And the start of the fall of Rome. Just like every other republic, we'd become a failed experiment. And that's what they're pushing. That's what's being pushed towards right now. People are talking openly about trying to seize the government and keep Trump in power. Sick. It's sick. I don't care what party you belong to. I really don't. Okay. But this is dangerous. This will kill millions of Americans. This will create and cause wars. This bad path. This very well could be the death of democracy. So ask yourselves, is this really what you want? And is Donald Trump really worth doing this for? Well, I don't know what else to say. I'm going to finish it off here. I'll have a wonderful day. And if you're listening to this, and, you know, anyone who's thinking along the lines of ending this country, you know, joining militia, marching on a state house with their weapons, seizing the state house, if you hear anything about this, turn it over to your FBI, your local FBI agents, your local FBI offices. All we can do to stop this kind of thing from happening is to alert the authorities and give them the chance to correct things. Thank y'all for listening. Talk to y'all later.